Let's talk to one of them right now. Who's going to join me. Come on over, Stuart. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi. So tell us about yourself, Stuart.
Well, my name is Stuart Browne. I am the CEO of Pycap Venture Partners, and we invest in startup stage tech companies.
Okay. So I hear that you're pretty new to the scene. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We actually just launched a few months ago, and what actually makes us unique is that we get angels to invest into our fund who want to diversify their portfolios and get exposure to the deals of other VCs, but don't necessarily have the capital to invest with the other VCs. So we're kind of like a VC for the little guys.
Okay, great. So, we're about to watch this demo day, and a big part of this is to see whether these startups are ready to attract venture capital. And I should mention that a lot of them have already brought in some venture capital. In fact, a lot of them have investments already, but in many cases, or in most cases, they're looking to grow even more. So there's VCs like yourself here in the room today, and they're looking at these startups saying, is this a good investment? For somebody like yourself, what sort of criteria are you applying to say, is this company worthwhile or not?
Well, there's, of course, a number of metrics to look at and different ways to value companies and see whether or not one is a good investment or not. What we generally look for is the management team. Is it a combination of somebody with industry experience? Like, for example, if it's a software company developing a software product for the mining industry, it would help if they have a geologist on the team as well as maybe a software engineer. So management team as well. Indication of traction. A lot of these companies don't have revenue, but they could still show that they have some form of traction. For example, if it's a beta version of their software, if they have a certain number of people who are using it and repeat users, indications such as those are good ways for us to evaluate different investment opportunities.
All right. Now, that's a lot of information that you need. In 6 minutes, can a startup really cover all of that ground?
They can definitely touch on it, and if the presentation is good enough, they could highlight those areas and provide enough interest among us investors to warrant us to look into it in a little bit more depth. So they could provide the highlight of their management team, their traction, other sort of indicators that show their progress and why they're a good investment opportunity. Events like this are kind of a way to entice investors to go to the next level of due diligence and meet with them again and look into the companies a little bit more.
Okay, that makes sense. So break it down for us. I mean, there's so many aspects to consider. You have the team that's behind the startup. Of course, you have the idea. What is it that they're doing? And then you have things like customer traction. Do they already have paying subscribers or paying customers? That must be a big thing as well. I mean, how do you balance all of that?
You know what? In this level of investing, because there are so much unknown elements, you got to look at each opportunity as a package deal. If they have a stellar management team, but they lack certain traction in the industry, yet they're a company that's developing a product that we feel is very timely and could have a lot of traction moving forward, then we'll evaluate it on kind of a, algorithm type approach in terms of weighing different quality of an element of each investment opportunity.
Right. I mean, it must be on a case-by-case basis. You can't just have one algorithm that applies to everybody, right?
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's got to be case-by-case. Other things that we look at in terms of whether or not an investment is good or not is, do they have other investors interested? If they've already received capital elsewhere, that is in of itself a different form of traction that we could, apply to our evaluation process.
Okay. So I wonder if you can take us through the process a little bit. I mean, this term startup gets thrown around a lot, and sometimes we wonder what qualifies as startup. I mean, for example, the companies that we're going to see here on stage today, they've attracted some money, some investment, but none of them more than $1 million, for example. So what stage are they at in terms of like very beginning to, having a full company that's operating on, some sort of manageable basis, some sort of ongoing permanent basis?
Well, in terms of the stage of the company, the way we define it, and sometimes these definitions vary between different angels or different VCs, but we define the seed round as friends and family. Basically, an entrepreneur will have an idea. They need to get some capital on board to develop their product and create some sort of prototype. The only area that they're going to be able to get money from are close friends or family. When they start growing the business, they fine-tune their prototype. They create something that's very tangible, and they start generating a buzz within the market, or they get users, whether they're paid or not. They start entering the stage that we call the startup stage, and that's actually the stage right before the Series A stage, which traditional VCs normally invest in. And if you look at the growth cycle of a business, and a lot of them might show this during the presentation, there's a hockey stick curve. So right at the beginning of the blade of the hockey stick is the seed stage. When you start going along the blade, you get to the startup stage, and that's where we want to invest in, because it's at that stage where it could bend up and skyrocket and grow and very quickly and create the best return to compensate for the level of risk that we're getting involved with.
Okay, thanks for breaking that down for us. That helps us understand, what the company's presenting, where they are on that startup spectrum today, and what their path is going forward. And we're going to be talking to some InCube's alumni, too, people that have taken part in this program before. So we'll be able to see different startups, that are on different stages of that spectrum. Like, where are they now? How much money do you raise after leaving a program like InCube? So keep watching, and we're going to have some alumni coming up. But Stuart, I'm wondering, who are your favorites today? Who are you going to be watching the most closely?
You know what? I like to come to these events with an open mind and let them kind of showcase their best qualities, and then I'll choose accordingly. I like to not go into an event like this with a particular company in mind that I want to focus on, because I want to give the other ones a chance to shine, per se. So okay. I'm keeping an open mind, and I'm hoping I'll be pleasantly surprised.
Okay, and there you go. So it's open game. Anybody could get an investment, perhaps, from your investment company again is?
Pycap Venture Partners.
Pycap Venture Partners, and thanks again for talking to me. Enjoy the Demo Day show.
Great, thank you.